Alright, in this lecture we're gonna keep working on the sub-action or the sub-procedures that are getting called whenever we trigger the action operation pressed. Okay, so whenever somebody clicks on an operator on the screen, okay, so any of these, this one or that one or this one and so on, so when those operators are getting clicked or pressed, then the operation pressed action is getting triggered and these sub-actions are also getting triggered. Okay, so let's work on the update display screen. Let's remove the to do comment and let's see what this is supposed to be doing. So think about it. Updating the display screen, basically, depending on the number of decimal digits, we're gonna have to have more or less text, right? That's gonna show on the screen right here, right? If you think about it, right now we have number 5. But what if somebody presses 5.25? Then instead of having the number 5, we need the point and the 2 and the 5. But the calculator does not know when to start or when to stop. So we have to say how many digits have to be displayed on the screen. All right. So that's called the precision. We want to be precise and know how many digits we want to have or how many decimals we want to have on the screen. So let's work on this logic. Go to the code in the viewcontroller.swift and inside of the func update display screen, let's start typing. Alright, so what we want to do is create a new variable called precision. So var precision, and that's going to be the number of decimal digits. So obviously you want to put an integer because that's going to be whole numbers, right? Int, and this time you're going to put equal 0. So by default this is going to be 0. Alright, now let's say that if the number of decimal digits, okay, because we already have this value, number of decimal digits, if it's less than 10, if that value is less than 10, then what we're going to be doing here is we're going to say that the precision is equal to the number of decimal digits. Okay, now this number of decimal digits is going to change every time somebody clicks on this function, the number pressed. Okay, so right now we're going to have to work on the number pressed and basically increase the number of decimal digits every time somebody presses the number in the decimal, okay, after using the dot. So that's what we're going to have to work on next. But meanwhile, let's keep going on the update display screen. Okay, so what else? If the number of decimal digits is less than 10, then we do that. Or else, what do we do? Okay, so else, what we need to do this time is check if it's equal to 10. Okay, if the number of decimal digits is equal to 10, so it's 2 equal signs, then what do we do? Inside of the opening curly brace, we say, okay, then the precision is 2 this time, okay? So basically, we're going to have 2 decimal places. Else, if it's neither 10 or less than 10, and it's bigger than 10, then what do? We create a decimal that's going to take basically the length of the number of decimal digits. Okay, so var digits is equal to, that's going to be a string, so basically some text that's going to take the number of decimal digits. And what we're going to do is the var decimals is equal to digits dot length. I'm sorry, let's rewrite this. Length of bytes using encoding and NSUTF8 string encoding. Now I know that's getting all fancy here, but basically what this line is saying is that the digits, the number of decimal is going to be equal to the number of digits inside of the number of decimal digits. So let's say the number of decimal digits was 1000, then the decimal would be the length of the number of digits inside of that. So if it's 1000, that would be 1000. So basically it's 1 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0. So that's going to be 4 digits. Okay, so 1000 will be 4 digits, 10,000 will be 5 digits, 100,000 will be 6 digits, 1 million will be 7 digits, and so on. Okay, all right. And at NSUTF8, it's basically the encoding that's used in the keyboard of the Western countries' keyboards on iPhones and iPads. Okay, so that's basically how it's called, NSUTF8. Okay, You don't have to worry too much about it. Just know that it's the way it's called. All right. And then what we want to do here is say that the precision is equal to decimals. So we're basically now saying that the precision gets the value of decimals. Okay. Also, what we want to do is that if we want to try right here below that if the current operation is the equal operation, then we're going to overwrite whatever changes we're doing right now, and we're going to say if it's equal, then we're going to do the precision to its maximum. Basically, whenever you do equal, you want to have the result with the maximum number of digits. Why? Because think about it. If you do 10 divided by 3, then the result would be 3.3333333 and so on. So you want to have the maximum number of precision here, right? So every time you click on that equal sign, you want to increase the precision. Now we can go even more precise and remove some zeros in the decimals, but don't worry about this. That would be for some other project, okay? So just write precision is equal to 9, okay? So basically it's taking 9 digits after the decimal. All right. Now we're going to switch the precision because we want to display that, okay? We want to be able to display the actual label, okay? We want to be displayed on that blue label right here. So we need to switch and know how many and actually display with the number of digits we want to. Okay, so we're going to switch on the precision. Okay. And let me put this up a little bit, and here we're going to say case 0. So basically if the precision is 0, what do? We're going to say the label screen. Now, do you guys remember what the label screen is? Okay, so we're going to change the text of the label screen. So let me go back to the main storyboard so you guys remember. This is the label screen, that blue label. How do we know that? You can always go back to the connector tab and it says that this is connected to the label screen. Okay, so this is the text of this that we want to change. So that 0 is going to go away and we're going to change the text. All right, so label screen.text is equal to, we're going to write a string because the text it takes text, so it has to be a string, and we're going to format it with 0 decimals. Okay, so it's just going to be a whole number. So this is how you do to be able to print a whole number for the total. Okay, so now the total is going to appear, okay, but it's going to appear with this format. That's called formatting here. Okay, the format would be %.0f. %.0f means that a float, which would be a floating number, basically a decimal number with 0 digits after the dot. Okay, after the dot there is 0 digits. That's what that means. Okay, so obviously you can already foresee what we're going to do for the case when it's 1, right? When it's 1, we're going to do the label text is %1f. Okay, and the rest is the same. Then obviously when it's 2, you already know what it is. It's going to be %2f, and we're going to keep going till it's 10. Okay, so we're going to go all the way to 10 and be done with that. 3, then 3, okay, then 4 and 4. Now it's pretty tedious, it's very repetitive, but we are actually halfway done, so just bear with me for 1 more minute and that will be it. 6, 6, okay, then 7, 7, 8, 8, okay, 2 more to go. 9, 9, okay, and then the last case, case 10, 10. Obviously there's going to be a default case, right? Remember, always have a default case. If you don't have one, it's going to complain with a red error. When it's default, what we're going to do is obviously say that the label screen dot text is equal to, and we're going to take the maximum value. Actually, let's go with 10 also. Okay, all right, for the default we're going to go with 10 digits at the end. All right, now let me just put some cosmetic and align all my cases. All right, and that's it for the precision. So for the update display screen, that's all we want for now. As you can see, we have taken care of all the sub function for the operation pressed. Okay, so we've taken of the reset value after operation pressed, it's done, and also the calculate now and the update display screen. One is done here, one is done below right there, and one is done below right here. So we're done with the operation pressed. Now the next thing is to work and finish the number pressed. Okay, so as you remember, whenever we press a number, we have to work with the number of digits. Okay, so that's one thing we need to take care of in the next lectures. Now again, I'm gonna zip this project and you can take a quick look at it just in case you are kind of lost or need to make sure that you have the exact same code as what I have. See you guys in the next lecture.